This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 8, verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Isaiah chapter 8 verse 20 is that I came across this article today by the New York Times where they were writing a report on these quote-unquote Christian prophets that are on the rise in Babylon the Great. And in this article, they were writing how these quote-unquote Christian prophets were getting their prophecies wrong, all right? And to the point that they had literally death threats, okay, being written to them, all right? Or phone calls of death threats because they were prophesying a false divination, okay? Because why? There's no light in them, all right? Because they're not coming out of the scriptures. They're not coming out of the words of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. They're speaking of their own vain heart. And, you know, this article speaks about it, how this one so-called Christian prophet, he was talking about a spiritual revival in America, which that's a joke, all right? This place has no faith in the scriptures whatsoever. Just look how they conduct themselves every day. They don't follow the law, statutes, commandments of the Bible, okay? This false prophet, he made it his literally a movement telling his congregation that Donald Trump was going to win the presidency and not to worry, okay? That he was going to win, that he was going to be the president for the second term. And that's what started off the threats, you know? And, you know, I'm just speaking for myself. I thought maybe Donald Trump might have been the president, but that wasn't a doctrine, you know? That was not a doctrine that I was teaching. I was like, hey, I'm just speaking as a man. Maybe Donald Trump will be the next president. But guess what? What did I say after that? Hey, it doesn't matter who's president. America's still going to go down in fire. It doesn't matter. They put up, okay, Pinocchio as the president and freaking, what are you clowns? You Walt Disney, Mickey Mouse as the vice president. America's still going to burn, still going to get hit with nukes. All right? This place has been prophesied to be judged. But the point is, I want to go off on a tangent, is that these false prophets in America, okay, they're growing, and more people are drawing to them because they don't trust the institutions in America, which proves that this country is divided. And this Yapa is beautiful. They can't trust the mainstream media anymore, especially with this whole political fiasco, all right? And yeah, it's true that the elections are rigged, okay? They've been rigged for a very long time, all right? Because these presidents are selected by the elites. And you clowns that go out and vote for them, you're idiots. You know, that's to your own destruction. All right, but yeah, so wait, I want to bring out this point in this article just to show why these prophets, so-called prophets, are on the rise because of this right here. As a denominational Christianity declines almost across the board, magnetic independent leaders have stepped into the void, right? And that's a big clue, all right, that that Christianity, okay, the mainstream Christianity garbage that's been spewed out for hundreds and hundreds of years, all right, is declining. Because look what's going on in the world today. Look what's going on here in Babylon the Great. These pastors, these deacons, so-called, these preachers don't have the answer, and people are leaving those churches. And it goes on and says, there's the idea that you can't trust anybody except these trusted individuals, said Brad Christensen, a sociologist at Evangelical Biola University. Quote, it's a symptom of our time. Right, this proves that we're at the end. People don't trust institutions, and people think that all mainstream institutions are corrupt. Right, which is true. Okay? It is true. Universities, science, government, the media, right. They're all corrupted. They're all corrupted. They've been speaking nothing but lies and deceit. And people are waking up. And now they're searching for the truth. Real sources of truth. And so now you got these false prophets rising up. And this proves that we're in the last days. And Yahushua spoke of it. All right? And by the way, the true prophets, okay, of the Lord are coming out of the nation of Israel. All right? You other nations have no, okay, authority under Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to be preaching the words of the Bible. Okay? Let's get that. Let's get Psalms, what is it? 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob. Right, Jacob is the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob had his name changed to Israel. All right? Yashar Allah, which means he, Prince Power. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Right, and that's the key point. Judgments. All right? These false prophets from the so-called Christian community are not talking about the judgments. They're talking about re-election, a spiritual revival. What was another one they talked about? They're talking about, in this article, you can read, I'll post the link up. The Dodgers were going to win the World Series. Like, that has nothing to do with the Bible. BS. Okay? The true prophets are coming out of the nation Israel, once again. 20. He have not dealt so with any nations, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Right. Because you nations don't know the judgment. Because we here, the prophets, are to tell you nations you're going down, especially the nation that's ruling right now, you Edomites. Okay? Those that are dwelling here in Babylon the Great, America is going to be destroyed by fire. We can prove it through the Bible. We can prove it through the scriptures. All right? Because if you're not speaking according to the Bible, you have no light. So there is no spiritual revival in America. This place is the valley of the shadow of death. False prophets. And the Lord said that was going to happen. There were going to be false prophets. Let's go to Matthew chapter 24. We'll start at the top. Verse 1. Get all of this. Because this is the times that we're in. Matthew 24:1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. 2. And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily, meaning truly, I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Right. You know what? Hold up. Let's I want to show something here. There we go. All right. Red letter. This is the Lord speaking, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right, his name is Yahushai. That's his Hebrew name because he's a Hebrew. He came out of the tribe of Judah, or in the Hebrew, Yahudah. And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Right. This is a parable that the Lord was speaking. Okay? And the disciples knew this, because watch what the disciples said right after, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? Right. So the disciples knew exactly what the Lord was talking about. The end times. All right. A lot of you so-called Christians say, we're living in the end times, but you don't bring out, okay, the prophecies that correlate with the scriptures. Okay. Whoa, well, let's even get even deeper than that. You even got, hold on, let me retract that statement. You got certain so-called Christians that do that. What about you Israelites? All right? You Jakes that know that you're Israelites. Are you talking about the end of the world? Are you talking about the Lord's returning? The RFID chip, the mark of the beast? World War III? Jacob's trouble? You got one camp leader, not going to mention names, all right? Those in the know said that Jacob's trouble wasn't going to happen. And then when he got caught in his lie, all right, he didn't want to admit to his own lie and said, you didn't hear what I said. Even though it's been on, there's footage of it, okay, stock footage on it. Didn't the scriptures talk about people like that amongst our nation who know that they're Israelites? 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. Right. No man deceive you. 5, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. Right. We see that. Okay. This proves that we're in the last days. That's why you have articles like this, because it makes sense. Let's go back. 6, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right, so these wars have to happen. We at Great Millstone, we always talk about the wars and rumors of wars, okay? We bring up news articles straight from the horse's mouth talking about the wars in the Middle East, okay? Or the civil wars that are happening throughout the world, okay? Whether it be weapons, okay, of a civil war, meaning, you know, shooting at each other, or just civil protests, okay? You got uproars of the people everywhere, okay? And then in the Middle East, come on, rockets being dropped. I mean, look, let's go. Look at this. Rocket attack. All right, I'm just going to put that in there. Let's go to news. CNN. U.S. expresses outrage over Erbil rocket attack as investigation gets underway. U.S. said it will respond to Iraq missile attack that injured Americans at the time and place of our choosing. After rocket attack, Biden faces first real test on Iran. Biden administration won't rule out retaliation for rocket attack in Iraq. Once again, Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Right. See, we hear the prophets of Great Millstone through the Spirit Power Yahweh Shem Shai. We have the 100% truth. All right. We're confident to say that because we show you. Hey, you see, the Bible said this. Look what's going on in the world. But these false prophets, okay, out of the so-called Christian community and from our own very nation, all right, are not talking about these things. They're not even making part of their doctrine on a continual basis. All right, we're living in the end times. You're supposed to be reporting this stuff. 7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Right. Oh, I got one more. Global Conflict Tracker. Council on Foreign Relations. You can't get any more credible than that. Okay? Straight out of the horse's mouth. Do y'all know who, runs the Council on Foreign Relations? Google it. Look it up. Okay? Do some homework. Critical impact on U.S. interests. War in Afghanistan. Territorial disputes in the South China Sea. Tensions in the East China Sea. North Korea crisis. Confrontation between the United States and Iran. Significant impact on U.S. interests. Civil war in Syria. Political instability in Iraq. Islamist militancy in Pakistan. Political instability in Lebanon. Instability in Egypt. Conflict in Ukraine. Conflict between Turkey and armed Kurdish groups. Criminal violence in Mexico. Israeli-Palestine conflict. Boko Haram in Nigeria. Conflict between India and Pakistan. Instability in Venezuela. Limited impact on U.S. interests. Civil war in Libya. War in Yemen. Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. Where the fuck is that at? The destabilization of Mali, violence in the Central African Republic, violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And the list goes on and on and on and on. 7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Yahushua said this. This is happening now. And there shall be famines. Famines. Let's Google that. Famines. Food insecurity. Let's look at that, all right? In America, 18 million U.S. children are at risk of hunger. What more can be done? University of Dayton. Look at that. That's hunger. Famine means hunger. Let's go into the word hunger. Okay, famine. Let's go into the word famines. That's America. That's Babylon. Scarcity of harvest, of famine. Whoa! 18 million U.S. children at risk of hunger. That's scarcity. Any more? Let's go back. What about the globe? What about the world? Food insecurity. Man, this is mostly talking about America. So if there's food security in America, all right, that means there's food security global. Okay, food security in the world. In the world, Craig, in the world. Let's go. Peace Corps, global issues, food security. Nearly 1 billion people across the world experience the effects of food insecurity. Right, 1 billion. That's a lot. Okay, so that's happening. All right, let's go to the next one. Once again, we here at Great Millstone, through the Spirit Power Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we have the 100% truth because we come out of the scriptures, all right? And that's what you're supposed to be doing if you claim to be a man of the Lord. And so you got famines, which is food insecurity. You got wars and rumors of wars. You got pestilence, all right? Let's go look this up, right? Follow along with me. Outbreaks. News. White House says Ebola outbreaks in Africa need swift action to avoid catastrophic consequences. Right, so yeah, you got Ebola. So not only do you got the C19, aka flu virus, because that's really the flu, okay? You also got Ebola. You've got Listeria. There's Listeria outbreaks, okay? Listeria. Any other pestilence? Legionnaires. Okay? What's another one? West Nile virus. Is that? Look, West Nile virus last year. Oh, look, they're talking about West Nile virus. Right. That's a pestilence. New mosquito species found in South Florida. Great. Another one. I'll be killing these mosquitoes left and right out here. There's always different types of mosquitoes. And I personally believe, and this is me speaking as a man, I can't prove it, but I'm just looking at the trends, all right? And just looking at what's going on when it comes to different outbreaks. I believe it's Esau, all right, with his mad science, okay? putting all these different viruses in these mosquitoes and then letting them loose, okay, down here in South Florida, down here in Florida Pier, because there's a huge population. And you know the agenda of the elites if you've been studying and listening to, all right? For example, what's his name? Bill Gates needs to, their population is too high, all right? There needs to be less population. Depopulation, right? George Guidestones. So, yeah, that's going on. What's another one? Earthquakes. All right, let's type in earthquakes. Let's go to all earthquakes. All right, these earthquakes are in the last week. You got earthquakes that hit Fukushima, Japan. Man, the Lord don't like you Ammonites. All right, he be knocking you heavily with these earthquakes and tsunamis. Okay, you got in Vanuatu, you got Apia Samoa, you got Canada. All right, that was just this week. Let's go to earthquake. Latest earthquakes. Look at these latest earthquakes. This is diverse. Oklahoma. That looks like, yep, that's Colorado and New Mexico. And this is Utah. Earthquake in Utah. Interesting. And me just speaking as a man. I think the one in Utah, these are them they're trying to build their bunkers. All right. And that's why there's earthquake, because they're using, missiles, whatever, to dig deep on the ground. All right. To build their little bunkers from the coming destruction, because they know nuclear war is coming. And that's just me speaking as a man. All right. But the point is, earthquakes in diverse places. That's what you're seeing. Okay. 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Right. We are hated here at Great Millstone. All right. We are hated because we bring out the truth raw and uncut. We don't care about your feelings. 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Right. This is happening now, and it's only going to intensify. 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Right. And that's what you're clearly seeing here. Many false prophets rising and deceiving many, especially in the nation of Israel. Okay? Those that know that they're Israelites. Talking about Jacob's trouble's not coming. They're not talking about the RFID chip, the mark of the beast. They're not talking about World War III. So, let me bring this out. Micah 3 and 1, I'm going to close out on this. And Lord willing, this edify. Well, actually, hold on. Jeremiah 28 and 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. Okay? That's how you know the prophet has light. When he's bringing out, all right, the prophecies. When he's bringing out the war, the evil, and the pestilence. Okay? What's to come? And you see it here at Great Millstone through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So let's go to Micah 3 and 1. And I said, hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of the house of Israel. Is it not for you to know judgment? Right. See, that's our culture, our heritage, to know judgment. Judgment is coming. And you're supposed to be warning the flock. And majority of our people are not doing that. They're dancing and singing, doing hip-hop videos, all right? Talking about building in a nation, and a nation that's about to be destroyed by fire, okay? Just doing things that ain't appropriate for the times that we're living in. It's not appropriate for the times that we're living in. You're supposed to know judgment. That is part of our heritage, our culture. 2, who hate the good and love evil. Love the evil, right. They love this world. They love America. And that's what it is. In the spirit, they want to stay here. Who pluck off their skins from off them and their flesh from off their bones. 3, who also eat the flesh of my people and flay their skin from off them, and they break their bones and chop them in pieces, as for the pot and as flesh within the cauldron. Right, and really cannibalism is coming in a big way, and a lot of our people are going to be engaging in that activity. They're going to be participating in zombie-like activity. because of the lack of bread and lack of food. All right, we prophesied that too, that a huge famine is coming. All right, you think it's bad now with these news articles with the food insecurity? Wait till they start reporting of people eating each other. Okay? 4, then shall they cry unto the Lord, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time, as they have behaved themselves ill in their doings. Right, and the Lord's not going to hear you when you're eating, okay, little Tommy, little Johnny, little Jerome. Okay, you're just going to go ahead and do it. And he's not going to hear it because you didn't hearken unto the prophets who he set up, who's showing you articles and showing you the times we're living that you need to get right. 5, thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry peace. Right, you even have certain Israelite camps that are not bringing out the terrible times that come in. They're just talking about living good and having a good time, man. Peace. That's the spirit you're pushing off. Peace. And he that put it not into their mouths, they even prepare war against him. 6, therefore night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine. And the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. Right, you don't have the light. Okay, you're in complete darkness. Okay, because you're not coming out of the scriptures and talking about the times that we're living in according to the scriptures. 7, then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of the Most High. Right, and a lot of false prophets are being exposed in these last days. Okay, you could clearly see who are the real prophets and who are the fakes. 8, but truly I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin. Right, and that's really what it is. Okay, the prophets were hated because we were telling our people they were going off, and then showing them the judgment, what would happen, okay, when they went off, and what's going to happen if you continue to go off. And they didn't like that. Okay, and you have false prophets that don't want to, I tell our people they're going off. Don't even want to teach the true name to our people. They want to say that his name is Jesus. Are you out of your mind? And continue to tell them to call on that name. That's another God. You're breaking the first commandment. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. That name Jesus is that's a Greek name. 9, hear this, I pray you, ye heads of the house of Jacob and princes of the house of Israel, that abhor judgment and pervert all equity. Right, meaning you move far away from judgment. You don't want to talk about the coming judgment. Jacob's trouble once again. The market of what would happen if you take the RFID chip, the mark of the beast. The coming World War III, the nuclear missiles flying. 10, they build up Zion with blood and Jerusalem with iniquity. 11, the heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire. Right, that's really what it is. People got paid off. That's why they're not teaching, okay, according to what the Bible says, according to what the prophecies talk about in these latter days. Because they got paid off. And the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us. And that's that pride in their heart. They really think that, all right, nothing's going to happen to them. Okay. 12, therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house of the high places of the forest. Right. Meaning the Lord's going, okay, break you false prophets out. All right. You leaders of the congregation, you're clearly seeing it. That's why you see IUIC being exposed, ISUPK being exposed, GOCC being exposed, okay? Because we're living in a time where certain things are happening in front of people's faces, and more people got questions, and you so-called leaders of these different congregation, all right, are not preaching the truth, man. You're not speaking about the judgment that's coming about the chip, if you take the chip, about Jacob's trouble. So, the Lord's breaking that down, and y'all gonna get judged. So, Lord willing, is edifying. Hey, once again, hey, you're seeing a lot of false prophets on rising up, because people have more questions than answers, and that's what happens, and that's proves that we're living in the last days. You even have among our nation false prophets, and the Lord is going to destroy all you false prophets because you're not teaching according to what the words of the Lord have spoken. You're not talking about, all right, what's going on in the world and correlating to the scriptures. All right, you're being deceitful, and the Lord is going to judge you. So with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, B'Kah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. Keep studying. Pray more now than ever. Should be praying fast as well. To the few sisters that are watching, keep studying. Keep praying. Shalom and the Baba Ball. Shalom.